The homophobia and misogyny in the Genshin Impact community, especially the shipping side, is getting way too far and serious. As an example, I'm just going to use a creator named Leo because he seems to be the most homophobic one along with Fruity Tooty that I have currently interacted with so far. There's also Astoria/Tori, but she did get banned, so I'm just not going to talk about her this video. We can start off with the fact that every single straight impactor/homophobic creator just seems to be calling people of the queer community faggot. Like every single video. It's kind of insane to me that we just let that happen. Luckily, unlike a lot of other creators, I do have receipts and screenshots for this because I do like to collect evidence for my statements. Leo claimed that a trans woman on Reddit claiming that she wanted to find a way to grow boobs or breasts was sexualizing real women, quote unquote. Now, this is extremely transphobic and overall homophobic because there's nothing sexualizing real women about wanting boobs as a trans woman. It's just a way to validate your gender identity and just feel more like the thing that you identify as. I don't know why he claims that that was a thing. And another thing I want to speak on is the fact that Leo calls out people for quote unquote sexualizing women in lesbian ships and for trans people in general, but he makes multiple videos that sexualize the Genshin Impact woman, including this Flamma one he made, which I will put on screen now. You preach so much about not sexualizing women, but as soon as there's a single voice line about a person who is literally fond of the night and a ship that you enjoy, you sexualize her and talk about them having sex for a day. I don't really know how to explain that last part, a long night, that's just what I would say it would be. But you preach to love women and want women to feel safe and not sexualized. But as soon as your ship gets a little bit of screen time that doesn't even say anything about the ship itself, you sexualize women yourself. You're so homophobic towards the Genshin Impact queer community. It is actually insane. And you are such a hypocrite, too. You always speak about how Genshin Impact queer ships and shippers are weird because we always ship people who've never interacted or never met. Then again, you go ahead and ship freaking Lohan and Linnea? Yeah, Linnea. That's obviously extremely hypocritical because they've never met in-game. And then you also preach about us shipping people that have barely interacted or don't have much chemistry, but you ship Varkol. Doomed Lover's my ass, bro. She doesn't even like him. She does not have a voice line about him either. I find it extremely weird how hypocritical you are about a community and then proceed to do the same things as the community just as straight people. Not only that part for the people that never interacted, but you repost videos of Nefer x I'll hate them. These people have barely interacted, if they have at all, because I'm not sure. I kind of skipped through the Sumeru story quest because I wasn't very interested in it. But I don't think that they interacted much in that quest, and even if they did, there's no sign of them being romantically involved at all. If anything, as a Nefer x Llama shipper myself, I don't even think Llama would be in a romantic... Sorry, not Llama. I don't even think Nefer would be in a romantic relationship with anyone, if that. I only enjoy Llama x Nefer because of their interactions together and because of how close they are. But you ship Nefer x I'll hate them after they haven't barely had any interactions and she hasn't shown no sign of interest in anyone. You also get mad at people who call your ships slop just because they're straight, quote unquote, but it's not just because they're straight. For example, Newbie Furry, a lot of people dislike the ship because of how similar they look. You can't even deny it. They both have white and blue hair, they both have the same exact color palette, and in all the art of Newbie Furry, they make Farina look like a child. Like, she looks like a lolicon. I enjoy Farina's character myself, and I really like Farina, and not at all is this me trying to infantilize Farina or call her a child, but the fact that you guys have to make her look like a kid in all the art and then you still like it is kind of weird to me. Why are you imagining Farina as a child next to a man who looks like a grandpa? I'm just saying, he's literally depicted as a grandpa, or as old, like Zhongli. It's just so weird to me that you decided to draw her as a child in most of the art. You also preach about Chlorivia, which is Chlorand x Navia, being a strange ship because they're just friends, but you go ahead and ship Chlorand x Risley, they don't interact that much. The only times that they interact are simply business exchanges, and this is literally said in, I believe it was either an Archon quest or a web event, and I'll put the screenshot up, but they hardly interact. Chlorian does not like Risley. She states this multiple times, and Risley has never shown any interest for Chlorian. It's just hypocritical that you say we should not be shipping best friends when you ship people who've barely interacted, barely met, and don't have any chemistry, nor shown any interest in each other. At least Chlorand x Navia actually talks about their dynamic and chemistry when they're sharing lipstick and shit, but Chlorand x freaking Risley is just random, weird, out of place, and completely mischaracterizes them. As well as Nouvellette x Navia. That's such a weird shit to me. Nouvellette allowed Navia's dad to die, which is one of the reasons that she hated him so much, and as soon as she shows a little bit of like vulnerability, you guys decide to ship her with the man that she hates. She does not like Nouvellette. She's literally stated this before, and in the Archon quest she was literally crying to him about her dad. It's such a random ship to me. You guys just want any straight ship. Also, you call Riolette a pro ship, but Navia is around the same age, so Nouvellette actually did watch Navia grow up because Nouvellette and her dad were really close. So Nouvellette definitely saw Navia as a child. The fact that you want to call Riolette a pro ship, but you go ahead and ship Nuvia is so weird because you're being insanely hypocritical about this situation.
And historians will call them close friends, besties, roommates, colleagues, anything but lovers. History hates lovers, sidekicks, family, good pals, buddies, anything but lovers.
Oh my fucking god. Do I even need to say why this is weird? No, yeah, I'm still gonna. So, you're using a song made by a queer person for queer people to justify your straight slop. Literally, your straight slop. Why did you think that that was okay? You used a song about historians refusing to acknowledge the fact there was queer people back in the day, and you used it for your stupid ass straight fetish. If we want to go by your words, that's a fetish. Which leads me into my next topic. Every straight impactor ever has commented underneath a queer ship post saying it's a fetish. Now, assuming that teenagers shipping a girl and a girl or a boy and a boy is a fetish is really weird. So, I'm going to say the exact definition of a fetish just so you guys know how creepy you're being. A fetish is defined as an intense, sometimes obsessive attachment or focus on a specific object, material, or non-genital body part. While the term most commonly refers to a psychological requirement for sexual arousal. Assuming that teenagers get off to the fact that there's a queer couple on the screen is insanely weird and is pedophilia coded. Why are you assuming that a teenager is getting off to that? You are so insanely weird and creepy for assuming that. You don't even know, like, the homophobe side of the fandom throws around the word fetish like it's an average Tuesday. It's so insane to me that you guys are just saying that without knowing that you're literally assuming teenagers get off to that. Back on the topic of fetish, well, we're still on it, obviously. So, some queer people might just like queer ships because they're queer. You can prefer queer ships because you're queer and want to see yourself in that. A lot of people have like religious and queer trauma, so they like to put themselves in queer ships because it's something that they can understand more clearly. So, you assuming that a bunch of people are just jerking off to a queer couple is weird, by the way. You're creepy, that's pedophilia coded. And I don't know, that's all I want to say on that subject. Back on the topic of Leo, the creator that I was speaking about in this video. So yeah, he's insanely hypocritical and homophobic. First of all, he gets mad at people for shipping queer ships that have almost never interacted, barely have any interaction, or are only quote-unquote just friends. And then he ships things like Varkol, Flauma, Lohen, X Linnea, and shit like that. So first of all, Varkol, they had like a few interactions in the quest and barely interacted actually while the quest was going on. And obviously she showed no signs of anything being like interested in him at all. people only ship it because it's straight ship and they want more of that. Another one is Flynn's ex Llama. So Flynn's ex Llama is just kind of weird to me. Llama isn't like terrified of Flynn's. She's basically like a sign of life, and Flynn's the sign of death. So you could understand why that parallel would make her uncomfortable. She also says that he creeps her out. Another hypocritical thing that Leo often does is he doesn't like a queer ship of a character, but then goes ahead and likes the straight version of it. So here he claims that Sandrone and Columbina are sisters, which I'm pretty sure in the quest, Sandrone actually corrected Columbina and said that they don't see each other as siblings anymore. Columbina sees the Traveler as siblings, or as her sibling, and she used to see Dottore as her sibling, and she sees like some other Fatui, such as what's-her-face, Senora, as her sibling. But the only person that she's canonically stated that she sees as her sibling is Dottore and the Traveler as family. So you're gonna say that Columbina and Sandrone see each other as sisters, but then you go ahead and ship Dottore as Columbina. Leo claims that queer ships don't have any implications, so I'm going to have a long section dedicated to implications of queer ships, and I'll put timestamps on the screen right now if you want to skip. I don't know if you already know all these, but it's kind of important. So we'll start off with Haikabe. So Haikabe actually had a canonical name card, which is a red name card with the two of them being back to back, which I'll put on screen right now. So this name card is red, and China marriage cards in China are actually red too. I feel like this is a small implication to their relationship, and also in the description of the name card it says that they did a waltz, which is like a dance, so you can also see that they're kind of close in that way too. Another thing is that they have a lot of chemistry. I Hate Them canonically states that he put his Akasha system like earphone thing to recognize Kabe's voice and Kabe's only. This is so that he could pay attention when Kabe was speaking to him. Also, it's also stated that I'll Hate Them is in Kabe's room a lot. I'm not sure why this is. I just know he puts things in there a lot of the time. And I saw a article about that. So yeah. Then we'll go to Kaching X Ganyu. This one's kind of random. I don't even know if Leo likes this ship or not, but I'm gonna put it in. So, Kaching X Ganyu is actually really common, and it might even be nearly canon if Hoyoverse didn't have a censorship, because under a Genshin post, Hoyoverse actually commented Genshin Impact, which makes it seem like they wanted the ship to be canon, but due to censorship they couldn't elaborate on it anymore. I'm not sure if that is actually a true thing, but I know the tweet is real, and I know that it seems like they wanted it to be canon if they're posting stuff like that. As well as Kaching and Ganyu have a lot of chemistry, because Ganyu and Kaching really care about each other. Ganyu likes to make sure that Kaching doesn't overwork, and Kaching likes to make sure that Ganyu doesn't feel left out. Ganyu and Kaching have a lot of cute moments together, such as Kaching putting her hair up to look like cat ears so that Ganyu doesn't look left out. I find their relationship very cute, and I feel like they definitely are implied in a way. My next one is going to be Sambina, since he claims that they see each other as siblings, so I'm just going to say a few implications that make it so they're definitely not seeing each other as siblings. I just want to state real quick that I do have Sandrone on in game. I pulled for her, so some of this stuff I know firsthand, and I'm not just looking up, but some other I might be looking up because I don't really pay attention to the Archon quests. I usually watch them after I finish them in the background. Okay, so basically in one of Sandrone's idle animations, she has her robot in the back, and then she's passing her letters. The first one we can assume is from Arlecchino, the second one is probably from the Traveler, and the third one is from Columbina because of the moon signature. So in this letter, in this animation, when she gets to Columbina's letter, she blushes and then she slams it into her robot's hand. This can show that she obviously got flustered from Columbina sending her a letter, and I find that really cute because I just think it means that Sandrone obviously has something for Columbina. For Amiko, it's really implied, honestly, among the fandom. You can probably look up a few videos about it because I don't know everything about them, but they are one of my favorites, probably my favorite if that. And I just feel like the fact that they're based off of Honkai impact third characters, and the fact that they were lesbian in that makes it seem like a really good ship. I'm not going to speak more about these implications because I feel like it's already been like 3 minutes since I've been talking about them, and I want to get back on topic. So yeah, those are a bunch of implications among queer ships, and I have been in quite a few debates about Nuvi Furry being implicated, but I honestly don't see it, especially because Farina says that she doesn't feel like she has any friends she can be honest with, except Escoffier in her story, and I don't feel like they would be a good match just because of their appearances and feelings towards each other. I personally don't agree with the ship. I feel like it's sort of incest coded. I'm sorry, you can hate me for that, but Barcole, Lama, and all that, I feel like they're all kind of incest coded just because of their appearances. It reminds me of Gotcha 2020 edits where it was the couples look like siblings. I don't know. That's kind of all I want to say about the implications. I just feel like it's hella hypocritical of Leo to be saying that we are being fetishizers for shipping things that aren't implied, and that he never cares to actually look up implied ships and just claims that Kade and Nilu are implied. Freaking, I love Pixel Shark, by the way. It's probably my second favorite ship, and it's my favorite straight ship, but I don't feel like it's really that implied. I feel like they have a bunch of cute moments, and you could say it's implied if you want to, but I don't feel that it actually is. I just ship them because I think they'd be cute together. He says that Nuvi Furry, Dane's Lumi, Pixel Shark, like Zhongli and Guizhong, that they were all canon and implied, and I feel like that's kind of hypocritical because he doesn't have anything to back up these statements, and it's kind of insane that you're going to call a bunch of queer people fetishizers for shipping things that apparently aren't implied, quote unquote, and then you do the same exact thing just with straight ships because you're homophobic and an asshole. I'll probably make a part 2 on this, so if you guys want that, you can just let me know in the comments. I'll probably do it, honestly, and that's all I want to say on this topic for now. I kind of hope he sees this, and let me know your thoughts in the comments. Bye, guys.